Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Dallas Cowboys. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Dallas Cowboys. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play.
26.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Over the middle, complete. That's Schwartz. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. He got 29 yards that time. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help, because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, you guys didn't come out of the gate. I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal.
26.
Now Elliott. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
One man in the backfield. That's Elliott on second and goal. Here's Prescott. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that's going to bring up an interesting third and goal. Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's third and goal. Here's Prescott. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this was all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 21. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Simpson. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before we get a good head of steam going.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. Throw left side, complete. That's Simpson. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Trubisky to throw again. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Now Austin. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down. Prescott on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, Prescott stripped. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
On second down, Trubisky. And his throw here is incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And some room to work. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
This is Elliott. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Throwing, Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. In for the score. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Extra point up and through. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Miller on the catch over the middle. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Trubisky on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Burton. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now he's flushed out left. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Trubisky with a give to Howard. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Now we're going to get a stoppage. It appears to be an injured Bear on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Bears on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They come out here in the eye. On 3rd down, it's Cohen, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Let's go. Red, touch. Behind.
4th down. Here's Trubisky. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Cowboys defense is going to get him the football back. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Good. Here we go.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Onto the field now come the Bears. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit. They're in the same spot again.
Well, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Throw left side complete. It's Burton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. On first down, Trubisky. Simpson reels it in over the middle. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They pitch out to Howard. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. On first and 10, it's Trubisky. Free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Second and 10 now. It's Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Tyrone Crawford forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. Let's see what they draw up here. Third and long following the sack of Trubisky.
18.
Now Trubisky. The 20. And he's got Miller. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
You see it? You see it?
On second down, here's Trubisky. Now he'll escape, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. The Bears on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Trubisky. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Trubisky will throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, a full half to be played. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So we have come to half, and just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. A give to Howard. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
While that play was unsuccessful to start the second half, I'm not sure that you just totally abandon what you do running the football. Maybe you make some adjustments in your run game and do things a little bit differently. But that doesn't necessarily mean you just go to the pass and do nothing else.
And some strong running. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 23 yards on the play.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. On the handoff, this is Howard. Howard has the first down and then some. Touchdown, Chicago! Jordan Howard with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears are in for 6. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discuss
pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now Prescott. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here's Prescott. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 23. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points,
pressure comes and Trubisky goes down. Jamarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now it's Trubisky. Completion left side to Miller. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Now Trubisky lost the football. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Randy Gregory in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky.
Lock in. 18. Move.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. And the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jamarcus Lawrence in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Here we go. Go to 54. Go to 54. Right. 26.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now, the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
On the right side, this is Austin with a catch. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, standing just about on his own goal line. And taken right at the 35. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Checking the NFL scoreboard, they're in the 3rd at MetLife Stadium. And the Eagles have moved out ahead in that one. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go with Howard to begin the drive. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From midfield now, here's Trubisky. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Simpson. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using...
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. A big play there with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. Parkey with the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace.
46.
Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Prescott looks to throw on 1st. He'll let it fly for Austin. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. Another incompletion with that one. He's just 7 of 14 throwing the football, 50%. Typically not going to get it done, is it?
And let's just make it simple, and that's exactly why they trail.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Done. 26.
Prescott to throw it. Austin's got it left side. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play.
26.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
26. 26.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one goes for 24 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Back now in Arlington. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. It's about a 3-yard pickup there, but more importantly, they're still a few yards away here. It's now 4th down and goal. And his kick is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. The field goal we just saw has us now at a 1-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, Trubisky. Throw left side complete. It's Burton. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On 3rd and 1, it's Trubisky. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football.
And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. The deception there pays off to perfection. 14 yards on the fake punt and a 1st down. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move, but oftentimes it's a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, and he's able to pick up the 1st down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cohen. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. Trubisky now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. A give left side to Howard. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bag.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Throwing. Prescott. He'll let it fly for Austin. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Tavon Austin. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys cut into that lead.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Clock running under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Brown. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Hey. Here we go, 46.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Over the middle, and hits Austin. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Give him 30 yards there.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of football.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And now the Cowboys are within a 2-point conversion of tying up the game. All right, so the Cowboys will go for 2 here.
26.
Prescott. Flushed out right. And he will get into the end zone for 2. And this game now tied here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Throwing here, Trubisky. And Miller with it over the middle. Give him 30 yards there. And we continue to see another example here of offenses just going for it.
And this game has really turned into a receiver's dream and a defender's nightmare because no one's being stopped throwing the ball downfield, and points are going on the board.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Howard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this.
18. Lock in.
Here's Trubisky. Over the middle, that's caught by Miller. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. The Bears on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 2.
18.
Throwing now is Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Allen Robinson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have broken the tie.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
46. Good. 26.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
26.
He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Blue.
Oh, Trubisky going to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
There's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. On the toss play, Howard. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Trubisky to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Schwartz. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. The intended receiver, Tavon Austin. That'll bring up second down. He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Agreed, that's twice now in this fourth quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Bears, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they taste defeat for the first time this season as they drop to 5-1.
The Jets are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock.